I was drifting on the edge of sleep when my phone vibrated. A message lit up the screen. Don't go downstairs. Stay in your room. It was from my neighbor. My chest clenched. The words seemed to echo in the dark stillness of my bedroom. I stared at them, stunned, frozen in place. Slowly I typed back, "Why?" No response came. Then I heard it. Footsteps. Unhurried. Heavy. Each step pressed against the wooden floor of my living room. The sound was unmistakable. Too familiar. But I was supposed to be alone. Heart hammering, I slid out of bed, my bare feet meeting the chill of the floorboards. I eased the door open just enough to let a sliver of hallway light spill into the room. The footsteps stopped. Silence pressed thick against the walls. Yet it didn't feel empty. It felt like someone, was holding their breath and watching me. My throat tightened, but I didn't dare call out. I stayed still, listening, measuring every second. If someone was inside my house, I needed to know who they were, and why. When morning arrived, it carried with it the false comfort of daylight. Downstairs, my wife was casually pouring coffee, moving as though nothing had happened. I studied her. The way her hair fell over her shoulder, the unhurried motion of her hand stirring sugar. She didn't seem shaken. Not in the least. I wanted to ask, "Did you hear it too? Were you the one downstairs?" But I stayed quiet. My silence became a weight. That's when I noticed her phone on the counter, lying face down. It buzzed once. Then again. She ignored it, stepping into the other room. I turned it over. A name I didn't recognize filled the screen, followed by 3 short messages. Intimate. Personal. A knot twisted in my gut. When she returned, I quickly placed the phone back as it was. She smiled and offered me coffee. I accepted, watching the smile curl on her lips, the kind of smile that hides more than it shows. I said nothing. That night, after she fell asleep, I unlocked her phone and began scrolling. Words that weren't meant for me. Words that should have been mine. Then I found the one message that stopped my breath cold. Last night felt risky. He almost caught me. The footsteps. I didn't confront her. Not yet. Instead, I watched. Waited. Collected. The patterns revealed themselves quickly. Errands at strange hours, showers late at night, messages she tilted away from me. At work, I copied numbers from her phone and quietly searched them. One belonged to a man just 2 streets away. Married. 2 children. I drove by his house one evening and saw her car parked discreetly out of sight. My chest felt hollow, but my face betrayed nothing. That night, I ordered a DNA kit, not for me, but for our daughter. A sick clarity gnawed at me. Those weren't my eyes she had inherited. They were his. The days grew brittle, nights longer. I lay beside my wife, her warmth against me a lie. I memorized the sound of her breathing, the way she always turned her back to me in sleep. I became 2 men, the trusting husband she thought still belonged to her, and the hunter quietly gathering every thread of her betrayal. The results arrived on a Tuesday, sealed in a thin envelope. I opened it slowly, hoping hesitation could soften the truth. It couldn't. The child wasn't mine. I sat there staring at the paper, numbers and percentages etched like final judgment. Oddly, my pulse was steady. Calm. That evening, I slid the envelope across the dinner table. She looked at it, forcing a nervous laugh. "What's this? Open it." Her hands shook as she unfolded the paper. I watched her expression collapse, the smile she tried to wear folding in on itself. You tested her," she whispered. "Yes." The silence that followed stretched sharp and endless. Then came the tears. Words poured out of her. Apologies, excuses, promises. I didn't flinch. Not a word, not a tear, not a raised voice. When her sobbing slowed, I leaned forward. "I know about him. The man 2 streets over. I know where you've been." Her mouth fell open. Shuck. She hadn't expected precision. She hadn't expected me to already know. I removed my wedding ring, set it on the table, and let it rest there like a gravestone. You wanted another life, I said quietly. Now it's yours. Entirely. Her face broke. She reached toward me, but I pushed my chair back. Calm. Detached. I won't destroy you publicly. That would be merciful compared to what's coming. She froze, understanding. The silence. The waiting. The not knowing how much I had told, or how much I would keep. I stood and left her with her tears, her guilt, and the shattered mask she could no longer hold. I didn't move out immediately. That was part of the punishment. I stayed. Slept in the same bed. Ate at the same table. My silence was sharper than any scream. She never knew what I would do next, or what I had already done. Each day, she withered. Apologies turned to paranoia. Paranoia became fear. Fear bled into desperation. I didn't raise a hand. I didn't forgive. I only watched. By the time I finally left weeks later, she was already hollow. I closed the door behind me without hesitation. Because sometimes revenge isn't fire. It's ice. And I had frozen her world completely.